Hello students, in today's class we are going to start a new topic, coordination compounds. Okay, coordination compound, this lesson in theory it is for 6 marks. Part C, question number 25 and 26. Each question carry 3 marks and we have totally 6 marks. Two questions will be there, question number 25 and 26. Part C, it is from coordination compounds and each carry 3 marks. So total 6 marks we have in theory for this lesson, coordination compounds. In CET, JMain and NEET also, from this lesson either 1 or 2 questions will come from this lesson. One question means it carries 4 marks. So this lesson it is for 8 marks, or in 2018 it has asked 3 questions from the same lesson only in NEET and JMain also. Okay, so this lesson is very important lesson for the theory also, and in competitive exams also it is very important lesson. Okay, so in today's class we are going to see only the introduction of the coordination compounds. So what are coordination compounds? Coordination compounds are what? Okay, so it is a vast chapter, it is and 70% of inorganic compounds are coordination compounds. 70% of inorganic compounds, 70%. Okay, 70% of the inorganic compounds are coordination compounds. See here, I have written on the board sterinite, one painting it is. This paintings, how much it is price? 100 million. 100 million. This painting price. Why it is so costly? Because of its color. Which color it is? Persian blue color. Persian blue color. That those times this Persian blue color was very less. Okay, and it was not air stable color it is. So because of this color, this painting's color, this painting it is made up of this color, Persian blue color. That's why its price is 100 million. Okay, so what are this Persian blue color? This is Fe4, FeCN6. This is nothing but a coordination compound. Okay, one times Alexander the Great, Alexander the Great, he won the fight because of the coordination compounds. How? Because he used madder. What is madder? It is a red color. Okay, this red color it has abstracted from the root of Rubia tinctorum plant. Rubia tinctorum plant, so root it abstracted this madder red color and it applies all its soldiers. Okay, and so when the other army they attack on us, they saw that all the soldiers they are red color, so they thought that they all got injured, so they attacked carelessly, but they were not injured, and then they fought, and like this way this Alexander he won that fight. Okay, so what he has used madder, this madder red color, it is the abstract of what from the root of the Rubia tinctorium plant, it abstracted that color. So this red color madder, it is nothing but the coordination compounds. What is this one? Coordination compounds. Okay, and this Persian blue color, it is only the beginning of coordination compound. Actually it has been started. So one washerman, it was just mixing two colors and found this Persian blue color. One scientist, he was going through that one, how this color you got. He went to that washerman Dhobi, okay, who is washing clothes. So that washerman, that scientist asked how you got this color. So he told that I have mixed these two color and I got this Persian blue color. That scientist, he took and weighed that solution, and he then observed and just started what he saw, that this color has a coordination bonds with the metal. This color, in that color metal is there, that metal is having the coordination bonds with the metal. Okay, this metal is forming a coordination bonds. From there the coordination compounds theory has started. Persian blue color. Okay, so come here again, we have our chlorophyll pigment. Chlorophyll pigment, it is present in plants. Okay, and it is responsible for what? Photosynthesis. This chlorophyll pigment, it is nothing but the complex compound of magnesium complex compound. This magnesium complex compound, again it is nothing but the coordination compounds. Again in hemoglobin we have what? Hemoglobin we have iron complex. Hemoglobin, what we have here? Iron complex. These iron complex are what? Coordination compounds again. Vitamin B12. In vitamin B12, cobalt, cobalt will form a coordination compounds. Complex compound will form here in vitamin B12. Okay. Again, then we have drugs. For cancer patients, we are using cisplatin. Okay, this cisplatin, it is nothing but the coordination compounds. So this cisplatin we have seen in first PUC also. Okay, so this is the drug we give for the cancer patients. Cisplatin. This cisplatin, it is a platinum complex. What is the structure here? This platinum cis and trans, two forms are their isomers. So in that cisplatin, it is used for the cancer patient. It is a drug, and this drug, it is nothing but the coordination compounds. Okay, so platinum, we have NH3 taken twice, Cl2. This is the structure and formula. It is nothing but the coordination compounds. That means we are just surrounded by the coordination compounds. Coordination compounds are present in plants, in animals, okay, and in minerals also. In minerals also we have this coordination compounds. Okay. So these are the uses or applications of the coordination compounds. So our life is getting surrounded. All the dyes what we have now, most of the dyes, 90% are nothing but the coordination compounds. So we are going to see in this lesson regarding coordination compounds, how these coordination compounds has formed, what are their structures, chemical bonding, then isomerism, IUPAC nomenclature, and in advance how this color formation has takes place. Okay, how this color will form. So these all we are going to see in this lesson. So first we will see what are coordination compounds and definition of coordination compound, that we are going to see it. Okay. Okay, so see here, before we are going to start the coordination compounds, first we will see about the inorganic salts. See here, this is an inorganic chemistry we are reading. Okay, so these inorganic salts are of three types. The first is simple salts. First is what is simple salt. Then we have double salt, and then what, complex salt or coordination compound it is. So inorganic salts actually are of three types. First is simple salt, next we have addition or molecular compound it is called. This double salt and this complex salts are called addition compounds or molecular compound it is. Okay, so first one by one we are going to see. In that, first see here simple salts. In 10th standard also you have studied that when acid and base reacts together, the salt is formed here. This is hydrochloric acid and this is sodium hydroxide. This is an acid, and what is this one? Base. When acid and base reacts together, the salt is formed here, NaCl, plus what we get here, H2O. Okay. So this salt called simple salt. This simple salt, when we dissolve into the water, when we add into the water, it gives one positive ion, one negative ion. This salt, it get dissociated into two ions, one positive ion and one water negative ion. This positive ion is what called basic radical, because it has come from base, NaOH. So it is what, Na plus. So what it is called, basic radical. Then we have Cl minus. This negative ion. This negative ion is what called acidic radical, because it has come from what, acid, HCl here. So simple salt, it is nothing but it contains one positive ion, one negative ion. Okay, it does not contain more than one type of another type of ions here. That means we are getting one positive ion and one negative ion here in the simple salts. Okay. So simple salts means when acid and base reacts together, the simple salt is formed, and when it dissolved in water, it gives one positive ion and one negative ion, one basic radical, one acidic radical. That is called simple salts. Okay, next we will see the double salts and this complex salt. What are double salts and what are complex salt? So next we have addition compounds or molecular compounds. What is this addition compounds and molecular compounds? When two or more stable compounds join together in stoichiometric ratio addition compounds form. Stoichiometric ratio. See here, two stable compounds. This KCl and MgCl2. These two are stable compounds, or these are what? Simple salts only. KCl and MgCl2. These two salts are simple salts only. We can say so. These are stable. What are this one? Stable compounds joined together in stoichiometric ratio. Stoichiometric ratio means this is one ratio. This is one ratio. 1:1, and here it is what? 6. 1:1:6 ratio. It is. So in stoichiometric ratio, and we are adding this one stable compounds. Okay, when two stable compounds join together in stoichiometric ratio, addition compounds are formed here. This is what ratio it is? 1:1:6 ratio. In stoichiometric ratio, whatever ratio is there here, that same ratio we are getting the salt here. Okay, the same ratio we are getting here, salt here, double salt here, or complex salt here, we are getting in the same ratio. That is called stoichiometric ratio. So what is, these are called addition compounds or molecular compounds here. Two molecules are combining here. Two stable molecules, KCl one molecule, MgCl2 one molecule, combining in the same ratio. Okay, same stoichiometric ratio. That is called addition compounds or molecular compounds. So what is addition compounds and molecular compounds? When two or more stable compounds join together in stoichiometric ratio, the addition compounds are formed here. For example, here KCl, MgCl2 and 6H2O. Then we are getting here KCl, MgCl2, 6H2O. Here we have dot here. This dot indicates it is an addition compounds. This dot indicates it is an what? Addition compound here. So this is what? Kernelite. What is this one? Kernelite. Next we have FeSO4, NH4 taken twice SO4, ferrous sulfate, ammonium sulfate and water molecule, 6 water molecule here. So we are getting here ferrous ammonium sulfate here. FeSO4, NH4 taken twice SO4, 6H2O. This is also called Morse salt. What it is called? Morse salt here. Again we have here copper sulfate and ammonia. Copper sulfate and ammonia when combined together we are getting CuSO4 or 4NH3 here. Or we can write like this also, CaNH4 taken twice 4, again SO4 here. So here difference is there. In these three examples I have written, but these two are same here, dotted here, but here I have written like this here. Okay, so this is what is the difference here? Why I have written here difference here? Because these two are the example of double salts. These two examples are what here? Double salt, and this is the example of complex salt. There is a difference between double salt and complex salt here. Okay, what is the difference between the complex salt and double salt? Look at here, both in complex salt also and in double salt also, they are combining when two stable compounds join together. Two stable compounds join together in stoichiometric ratio, we are getting the here what? Addition compound. This is called double salt. So what is double salt definition? When two or more stable compounds join together in stoichiometric ratio, we will get a double salt. This double salt, okay, when dissolved in water, it get dissociate into their constituent ions. Okay, so this one I will explain with one example. So see here, double salt. Okay, double salt is formed when two stable compounds join together in stoichiometric ratio here. So this double salt contains, okay, one common ion, either positive or negative ion. So remember this point, double salt always contain one common ion, okay, either positive or negative. So see here, KCl, MgCl2, 6H2O. What is this one? Kernelite. In this, if you see here, Cl is common here. Cl is what here? Common. This double salt, they are stable in solid state. They will be stable in solid state. But when we add into the water, this double salt, they will get dissociate into their constituent ions. In this salt, this kernelite, when add into the water, it gives the ions, it get dissociated into the ions K plus, Mg plus 2 and Cl minus. In this we will see here, this is K plus, Cl minus, Mg plus 2. 3 ions are there here, and if you see here, this Cl minus is common in both KCl and MgCl2. One ion is common. One ion is what here? Common. So in double salt, if one ion is common, either positive or either negative, that is double salt. So these double salt are stable in solid state, but they get dissociate. They get into their constituent ions in what? Water. Okay. So if you want to test these ions present or not, if you do that test here, they will show the positive test here. Means Cl minus is there here in this solutions. So if you add in this AgNO3, then we will get the white PPT here. It shows that chloride is present here. Similarly, for magnesium test, if you will do it, you will get the magnesium test here. Potassium test, if you will do here, then they will show the positive test here. So here their properties will be remain in the solutions. Their property will be remain in the solution. Double salts properties are same here. As their properties are in solid state, their property will be same in the solution also. They will not change their properties. Double salt. Okay. So 3 points are there. They are made up of two stable compounds here. Okay, but they get dissociate into the water. They get dissociate into the completely dissociate. They get completely dissociate into their constituent ions, and they shows the positive test for that ions. Okay, so here potassium test, magnesium test and chlorine test, it will get we will get the positive test for that one. And most important is in double salt, one ion is common here. One ion is common here. So in this chloride is here, see here, one ion is chloride here. In similarly here potash alum, what is this one? Potash alum, pit curry, that we will put into the water. It is a disinfectant. This is what it is. It is used for what? Disinfectant. So what is this one? Potash alum. So K2SO4, Al2SO4 taken thrice, 24H2O. In this, if you see here, sulfate ion is common here. Sulfate ion is common. This when we add into the water, it will get dissociated into ions. Which ions? Potassium, aluminium and sulfate. And if you will add in this for sulfate ion, if you will add BaCl2, it gives white PPT. It shows that sulfate is present. Similarly for aluminium, NaOH add, it gives gelatinous PPT. So it shows that it is aluminium. Similarly for potassium also, if you will add, it will shows not positive test here. That means the properties of the constituent ions remain same here. Okay. And this is what Morse salt. What is it called? Morse salts. Ferrous ammonium sulfate. What is this one? Ferrous ammonium sulfate, Morse salt. It also get dissociate into their constituent ions. In this also, if you see here, FeSO4. This FeSO4 sulfate ion is common here. Sulfate. Two ions are common here. Sulfate and sulfate. So it is what? Double salt. So double salts, when two stable compounds combine together, we will get the double salt. So double salt, they get dissociate into water, okay, in their constituent ions. That means they are stable in solid state, but they get dissociate into their constituent ions in water. Okay, so they will not retain their property. They will not stable in solution here. And one ion is common in double salt, either one positive ion or negative ion, it is common here. Okay, this is about double salt. So what is complex salt or coordination compounds? Complex salt or coordination compounds means which are formed from the combination of two or more stable compounds. These are also formed by the combination of two or more simple compounds here. Okay, and but retain their identity in the dissolved state. Retain their identity in the dissolved state means what here? See here, what will happen here? These two simple salts are there here, KCN and FeCN2 here. Okay, when they combined, we are getting this one, K4FeCN6 here. KCN, potassium cyanide, highly poisonous it is. Okay, in our body, if you take potassium cyanide within 22 seconds, we can die here. It will convert into a blue component. Okay, this potassium cyanide, highly poisonous it is, and it reacts with this FeCN2 here. So we are getting K4FeCN6 it is. Now this is non-toxic. When it combines, it is what? Non-toxic. This is highly toxic it is. But when they combine together and forms here K4FeCN6, it is non-toxic here. That means their properties changes here. Their property is here, it is what? Changes here. So what will happen here means here. So when this K4FeCN6 will form here, okay, when this K4FeCN6 added into the water, so it dissociates as 4K plus FeCN6 whole in bracket minus 4. What is this one? This is called complex ion. What is this one? Complex ion. So this coordination compound or complex compounds when formed, it get dissociate into a one simple ion and one is what? Complex ion. When we do the test for this iron and cyanide here, we will not get any test. There is in this solution now, in this solution, these are combined. In this solution, we will not get the positive test for iron and it will not get the positive test for cyanide. How we are getting for double salt, for Cl minus, for SO4 minus 2, for K plus, all we are getting positive test there. But here we are not get the positive test for this iron and this cyanide here. We will get the positive test for potassium here, because here when they get dissociated, it gives two ions here. One is 4K plus and FeCN6 here. This is complex ion. So in this the iron test and the cyanide test, it has been not observed here. They will not give any positive test. Why? Because this iron, this metal, it will form a coordination bond with this cyanide here and forms a complex ion here. And this complex ion in water, it does not get dissociated. Okay, so this potassium cyanide and this FeCN2 when combined together, we will get this salt. This is called complex salt. In this complex salt, one compulsory will be, one complex ion will be there, one simple ion will be there. So this complex ion, in this complex ion, the metal atom, it will make a coordination bond with this 6Cl minus ions, okay, and forms a complex ion. This complex ion, it will not get dissociated into the water, okay. In normal water, in normal temperature, it will not get dissociated. But if you give high temperature and forcefully we can dissociate it, but generally if you add into the water, this they will not get dissociated into the simple ions like Fe plus 2 and 6Cl minus. They will not get dissociated. So that is called complex salt here. Complex salt means the salt which cannot be dissociated into the water into their constituent ions. Okay, so this complex salt, they will not get dissociated into their constituent ions. They will not show the positive test here. Complex salts, they will have compulsory one complex ion. Complex salt, they will have compulsory one complex ion. Like how in double salt we have, in double salt one either positive ions and a negative ion is common there, and but here one complex ion should be compulsory, should be there. So complex ion means here the metal atom, they will make a coordinate bond with the these ions here, okay. So this is called complex ion here, and one simple ion will be there here or one complex ion, or sometimes both will be complex ion, complex positive ion and negative ion will be there here. So this complex ion, they will not get dissociated into their ions. Now their property is also different here. See, as I said, this potassium cyanide, it is highly poisonous here, toxic here, and when they combine together, they are what? Non-toxic here. But in double salt, their property does not changes here. What are their constituent property and their ions property and salt property, it will be same. Ions property and salt property, it will be same here. But here the properties are changing here. It is toxic, it is non-toxic. Similarly, if we come here, this copper sulfate and ammonia, when we mix, we will get here CuNH3 4 SO4 here, one complex ion here. This is positive and this is what negative here, +2, and it is what -2 here. This is complex ion here, okay, and it is what simple ion here. So it is light blue color. What is this one? This is copper sulfate is light blue color, but when the ammonia is passes through this one, we will get here deep blue color. Deep blue color. Here color has changes here. Color is changes here. In the solution we will not get any test for the copper and ammonia here, but sulfate test we will get here because it is what a simple ion here. Okay, are you getting it? So what is the difference between double salt and complex salt? Double salts are formed by they combined by the simple two salts, but they get dissociate into their constituent ions in the water. But complex salt, the complex salt are also formed by the two simple salts only, but in the water they does not get dissociate into their constituent ions. They will form one complex ion and one simple ion. So that complex ion does not get dissociate into their ions. That's why they will not show any positive test for that one here. And the properties of the complex salt, it is different from their constituent ions. The properties of the constituent, this complex salt, it is different from the constituent ions here. So this is about coordination compounds. In detail, what is coordination compounds, and about that one we are going to see. We are going to learn about this one, complex ion, this coordination compounds. Okay, in whole lesson we are going to see here the difference between the double salt and complex salt. So double salts, they are made up of simple salts, okay, but complex salt, they are made up of at least one complex ion. In complex salt, compulsory one ion should be complex ion. So in here double salt, they are made up of simple salt only here. Next, second one, they dissociate into all their ions in solution. Double salts, they get dissociate into their all ions completely. They will get dissociate into their ions here. But in complex salt, they dissociate in solution to give complex ions in addition to other simple ions. Complex salt, they get dissociated into what? Into one complex ion and one simple ion. Okay. But here in double salt, they get dissociate into their constituent ions. All ions, they will get dissociated. Next, third is they exhibit the properties of all the ions. So this double salt, they shows the properties of all the ions. They give the positive test for all the ions. If you do KCl and MgCl2 6H2O, okay, they get dissociate into K plus Cl minus and what Mg plus 2. So they will give the positive test for potassium chloride and Mg. So the property, it is here what they exhibit the properties of all the ions. They will show the properties of all the ions here. But here in this complex, the properties of the complexes are different from those of the constituent ions here. Okay. Here complexes properties are different from their constituent ions. Copper sulfate, it is light blue color, but when it is mixed with ammonia, it gives what color here? Deep blue color here. So the properties of the complexes, it is different from their constituent ions here. Okay, this is third point. Main point, it is they exhibit the properties of all the ions here. The property of the double salts and their constituent ion is same. But here the properties of the complex ions and complexes, and it is different from the constituent ions here. Okay. So it is ionic in nature. Double salts are ionic in nature, but the complex salts, they are bonded with through what? Coordinate bond. The complex ion, it is bonded through what? Coordinate bond here. Okay, these are the differences between double salt and complex salt. Understood? Thank you so much for watching.